A total of 8 people have been killed in the last 24 hours on the Cape Flats. In the latest incident, a man and a woman were shot and killed in Hanover Park, a mere 10 meters from each other. Last night in nearby Philippi East, 6 women were shot and killed in the Marcus Garvey informal settlement. For more on this, we're joined now by SABC News reporter Mariska Botha. Mariska, a very good evening to you, and thank you so much for speaking to us. So by all accounts, a very difficult 24 hours of the people in the Cape Flats. What has happened in the last 24 hours?
Absolutely right. It was a very difficult 24 hours for the people of the Cape Flats. You said it so well. And this seems like it's becoming the norm for people on the Cape Flats over the weekend. The tally of bodies just seems to be rising and rising and rising. We've seen an increase in the numbers of shootings and fatal shootings on the Cape Flats in the last few months. In fact, the Department of Social Development telling us that over 2,000 people have been murdered in the Western Cape since November last year. Now, that's a staggering number in anybody's book, and the latest killings, 8 people in total, as you said, just adds to that tally. Of course, the recent details of 6 women being shot and killed became very clear to us this afternoon when we finally found the place in Philippi East. In the background, in our streets at the moment, trying to hide a bit from the rain. Our equipment doesn't work in the rain. But in the background, you can see the scene where this horrific incident occurred. We understand that last night at about 5 to 11, unknown gunmen entered the premises of a makeshift building in the front of the yard. There they killed 2 women, and in the back, in the main house, they killed 4 more at point-blank range. Now, the cause of these killings and the motives are unknown to us yet, but we do know that it's a very distraught community that's dealing with this afternoon. When we were on the scene, we managed to speak to a father of one of the victims, and he says he also lost a daughter 4 years ago in a similar incident, also in a shooting that happened not far from where we were today. And we also saw a grandmother coming to the scene, and she just absolutely collapsed. The horror of this is beyond measure. We saw a scene where they were busy cleaning out the shack where 2 of the killings occurred, and they brought out 2 pillows that were just soaked in blood. And this must be a traumatic incident for anyone that has to experience it.
So, Mariska, let me jump in there and ask you this question about the incident in Hanover Park. The 23-year-old man and 18-year-old woman who were found meters apart. Is it known whether or not the shootings are related, or whether they themselves knew each other?
We actually don't know at this stage. The police won't divulge any more information than what we have. But of course, Hanover Park is also one of those areas that are absolutely riddled by gang violence. So we don't know if the people are related, whether it's related to gang violence. But we do know the majority of those 2,000 murders that we've had in the province since November last year, the majority of those are gang related. And Hanover Park is notorious for gang activities that take place there. People can barely leave their homes there. In broad daylight, there's shootings that happen almost on a daily basis. Almost daily we get reports from shootings in the area. So at this point we don't know whether the 2 people are related, whether the incident is related, and whether or not it is gang related, but it's certainly an issue for the people of Hanover Park as well.
As you say, Mariska, there was a study that was projecting that unless gang violence is brought under control, Cape Town is at risk of being the most dangerous city in the world. In fact, the figures that are being preliminary given saying that 45 people have died related to gang violence this year alone. Is this an accurate picture of what is going on?
Well, I think that figure is actually much greater. Of course, police statistics is the only statistics that we can go on. But the number that we have of 2,000 people killed since the beginning of November comes from the state morgue, which the Provincial Department of Safety, deals with. And they tell us the majority of those incidents are gang-related. So I think the statistics of 45 people, the number is greater than that. For example, in an area like Bonteheuwel, we get reports from Bonteheuwel almost every second day of a gang shooting, and a number of those shootings are fatal. So I think the problem is greater than what people realize, and certainly the people on the Cape Flats are living in fear. We know that entire communities are held hostage by this violent crime that continues unabated.
And we know the argument has been raised time and time again about the need for the SANDF to get involved to help police the area, a state of emergency somewhat. How closer to that realization is not only the Western Cape Safety and Security MEC or department, but for the people of these areas?
Well, we can tell you this, that every time we go to the Cape Flats and we speak to people after incidents like this, they tell us that they want the SANDF. The majority of people will tell you that they would want the SANDF to come in. But we understand, of course, that General Begitele has told us that there are a number of plans that the police are busy rolling out. We know the anti-gang unit is busy doing work on the Cape Flats in a number of communities. So the police say there are plans in place. And every time we've address the issue with General Begitele, the police minister, he says to us at this stage they are busy working on plans. They cannot divulge everything they do, but certainly they are trying to get a handle on this. But again and again they repeat that people must work with police in order to curb this problem, because some people must be hiding those people that commit these crimes, and they must come forward and work with police to help solve this problem.
Thanks a lot for that, Mariska, and I'm sure you would have seen that interview with General Begitele here on SABC News. Mariska Botha in the Western Cape. Starting off on a grim note, and